Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Angeles Forest Highway. It's cold and windy, but getting better, and so we're remaining optimistic. And if you haven't figured it out, I'm on the wrong side of the car, and that can only mean one thing: Skyline. Yes, Godzilla. This is Mike. Thank you so much for coming down, man.
Hey, yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Driving all the way down from Las Vegas with his R32 GTS-T. Tell me a little bit about your car.
Well, this car, I was trying to find like a turbo Japanese import type car. And all the cars I was looking at were either like really ratty or they were asking a lot of money. I actually tried to buy a couple of like MR2 turbos. And then somebody told me you can get a car from Japan for pretty reasonable. And I looked into it, and I saw that GTS-Ts like were selling for $2,000 to $4,000 in Japan at the time.
$2,000 to $4,000?
Yeah, at the time. Now they're much more money.
How long ago was that?
Like 2 years ago.
Wow.
So I waited about like until April of last year, and I found this, which was pretty much like the perfect one to import, basically.
It's very clean.
Yeah.
Looks mostly stock.
Yeah, and there's this guy, Pacific Coast JDM, this dude Derek there, and he did all the paperwork and everything, and it worked pretty good.
So if you don't mind, what did you end up out the door for one of these?
To my house, even shipping from Port of Los Angeles and registration, taxes, everything, $7,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
you have done well here.
Yeah,
even if this thing turns out to drive like ass, you've still done well, because you can make money on that.
Oh yeah, I can.
Instantly.
Yeah, they're selling for like $12,000 now.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, instantly. I mean, literally instantly. After 1 foot of driving, I can feel the smoothness of the inline engine. I mean,
oh yeah, this engine's
well, we're not going to follow that truck. Screw that. Right-hand drive on the right-hand side of the road. This should be good fun. So this is the RB25, right?
No, this is RB20 DET.
Okay.
It's kind of like a low displacement engine, obviously, a 2-liter.
But it's a 4 or a 6?
Oh, it's a 6.
It's a 2-liter 6.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, right. And like people say when you put bigger turbos on these, it gets super laggy. So usually people swap in RB25s.
Yeah. Well, I know someone with an RB25 for sale if you're in the market.
Not at the moment.
All right. So very smooth, very few vibrations in the cabin. You got to reprogram your brain to put your body on this side of the road.
Yeah.
But not slow.
No, it's pretty quick.
Not slow at all.
Yeah, my friend, he was kind of skeptical about this car, and I got him in it, and we did like a quick, like, straight line pull on it. He's like, wow, this car is pretty quick.
I would bet that this car is making 250 to 275 horsepower. Does that sound about right to you?
Stock they make like 215,
okay.
And
at the wheels or the crank?
At the crank. Or at least that's what they say. Who knows?
This feels like more than that.
Yeah, I actually had a dynoed as 230.
At the wheels?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, underrated engine.
But I think that the dyno probably was reading high, but I don't know. If you think it's faster, then probably it is.
And this is an 89?
Yeah, it's an 89.
Well, it feels, I mean, 141,000 kilometers later, it's tight as a drum, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Shifter feel is nice. I mean, not a crazy short throw, but precise. The steering wheel is just exactly the right size with the perfect gauge visibility. And this being a GTS-T, it's rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive.
Yep.
And you don't get the rear-wheel steering or any of that stuff.
Oh, no, it actually does have that.
It does? It has rear steer?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it connected?
Yes, it is, and it's working properly,
Really?
too. Yep.
Wow.
Some people don't like it. I honestly don't know much about it.
A lot of people disconnect it. I know
they
that.
do. And I was told if it's working fine, just leave it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you've got, is this a little boost controller here or just a gauge?
Yeah, it's a boost controller. Before I had a Pexi Power FC in this, and I actually had to tune and everything.
We're going to go the other way because of the rocks on this side. I just didn't want to follow that truck.
Yeah.
Let's, you have good ground clearance, right? Not lowered. Let's see the turning radius with the 4-wheel steering. Oh, it's good. That's good.
Yeah, I was saying about the Pexi Power FC, like, the one for this car can't be tuned with the software, and I didn't know that when I bought it.
Oh,
so
no.
Nobody wanted to tune it, and they just tuned it with the hand controller. I was still getting knocking and stuff, and they didn't want to adjust it. So I was like, I'm just gonna sell this. So anybody who's gonna get this car and wants to use Power FC, don't.
Okay.
Unless you can't convert the GTR one to work on it. So.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a good tip there for GTS-T consumers. This absolutely has enough, see, here's the thing. I really want an R34.
Oh, yeah.
In New Zealand, I drove an R34 that had 1,000 horsepower that was detuned for the day to 720 wheel. and I was just going, oh my god, this has changed my life. This is the greatest car ever. And then I went to Japan and I rented a stock R34.
Oh, yeah?
It must be the last stock R34 on Earth.
Probably.
It was beat. I mean, it was really, really beat, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe. I thought after the 1,000 horsepower car, the stock one is going to be disappointing,
right?
And it was the exact opposite. The stock one was so good that I will have an R34.
Right. Well, if you think about it, like some people think that, like, you know, it's just got 280 horsepower or whatever, but you know, it's STIs
really
and
doesn't.
Evo 10s, and yeah, they're underrated.
The stock R34 has between 350 and 400 horsepower.
Oh, yeah.
I guarantee it. But so everyone just goes, well, why don't you just get an R32? And truthfully, I don't love the styling of the R32. The front end doesn't really do it.
Oh yeah, it's
for
very
me.
period.
It is very period, right?
Yeah.
But sitting in your car and driving it, even with the rear wheel drive only, even with the smaller engine,
right,
I get enough of that R34 to scratch the itch, frankly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I still want an R34. Wow, look at that Navigator going for it.
Yeah.
I still want an R34. Look at this wind.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But this is enough of the R34 that I would enjoy the experience until I could get the R34.
Oh yeah.
I may have to buy an R32.
I'm glad this car converted you.
Have you done anything with the brakes? The pedal's very tight.
Yeah, I actually got braided brake lines from Driftworks, and other than that, like stock, well, not stock brakes, but whatever brakes the previous owner had.
Wait, tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
Not much to hear.
Yeah,
it's quiet.
Well, I used to have a 350Z, and I had a really loud exhaust on it, and it would drone all kinds of crazy on the highway.
Yeah.
And I was having like some health problems with my ears and stuff, and like loud noises were
Drone
painful.
is probably not good.
Yeah,
for that.
so I played it safe on the exhaust. It's got Kakimoto exhaust on it, and it's made to like pass like DB rules in Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
But I could take the resonator out, and it would sound a lot better.
It's, you know what? I like it. I hear a lot of
Yeah.
turbo noise. You know what I'm getting a lot of is wind from here, though.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's the one thing that is kind of dating this car, is that wind noise.
One thing is on this particular car is like the rubber's kind of old.
Okay.
And I need to redo the linings and everything like that.
And I bet you it's way more expensive than you think.
Oh no, I've looked at the price, and you're right. The front and rear windows, which are bad on this car, are like, they were like $400 each.
Yeah.
And this stuff, just the plastic, not any of the rubber stuff, was $300.
Yeah, see, I wanted to redo the seals on my Corvette. They told me it was $1,000 for the rubber.
Right.
And I was like, okay, fuck that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So how, I mean, not that it really matters, but like you drove here from Vegas.
Yeah.
And it runs on 91, right?
Right.
So what kind of fuel economy did you get?
I'm not exactly sure. I didn't ever do the calculations.
Can you get here on one tank from Vegas?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's 275 miles.
Yeah, so
That's pretty good.
Yeah, when I got here, I filled up before I left. I live in North Vegas, not North Las Vegas, but like the north side.
Yeah.
And that's like going through that entire city, and I had it like but right above empty when I got here.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It has a really nice fluidity to it. You know, it feels slick. It feels like you want to momentum drive it, but it's also got some power.
I got the suspension setup I got on this. I had it aligned for like kind of like autocross, and I just need to get like adjustable arms in the front, because other than that, it's pretty much an autocross setup on stock suspension.
Do you autocross it?
Yeah, I have.
At Las Vegas Motor Speedway?
Yeah, there, and they have one at Silverton too that they do every so often.
Dude, I'm feeling your car, man. I really am. I love being on this side. I love the smoothness of the Inline Six. I love that it's not too loud. It doesn't really feel like a tuner car. You know? You get just enough of those turbo noises. You know, just enough boost and just enough blow off, and like I could daily this.
Yeah,
absolutely. Is this your daily?
No, it's not. But yeah,
it could be.
I have driven it to work. Like I drive it like once a week to work about, because I like driving this car. It's nice.
This is a brilliant driving car, and you know what else I like about it? It's roomy.
Yeah.
I'm tall and I'm fat, and this is comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, Let's go. Here's full throttle, 4th gear. Come on, baby. Not bad. Not bad. I mean, look, it's not a GTR. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that right now shove of the GTR.
Right.
But it's fun to drive.
It is. Yeah.
And it's cool. Look at this traffic going the other way. And it is cool. Do you get a lot of attention?
Oh God, yeah.
Are you invisible, or how does it work?
No, it's the opposite of invisible. Like if I'm just driving down the road down here, there's like people like putting thumbs up out the window. Even people like driving like SUVs and stuff like that.
So do you think this is the coolest car you could buy for under 10 grand?
Oh God, yes.
At least the coolest car that will work properly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I remember I was in a strip mall, and there was a meet there, and I just pulled in, and everybody wanted to see this car. And it's like if you're in like England or Canada or something, it's like just a GTS-T, but in America, it's ridiculous.
In America, you've got something really cool for not much money at all.
Exactly.
For some people, driving on this side of the car is like super intimidating and difficult. Though.
Yeah, it's not for me.
I don't think it's hard at all.
No.
I think it's, well, you know, once you get used to it.
Yeah.
Look at the turning radius is actually very good. Once you get used to it, it's great. I'm gonna just pause for a second because I don't want to sit behind that Lincoln. Let me adjust your mirror so I can actually.
I actually got a question for you. How do you feel about the steering, like the center on it?
On center?
Yeah, because you know, like how like some older cars, like you say, usually it's like dead on center.
Way better than most.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'll tell you something. Okay, if I thought it was dead, I would have said it by now.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah, that's what I was surprised when I got this.
For a car from the 80s, the steering is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no. Really good on center.
Yeah.
Really good on center. Oh, no, it's breaking up.
Yeah.
It's breaking up over $5,000. What's wrong? Is it okay?
It's probably fine because, like, one of the things why I got it tuned is after putting all these, like bolt-on mods on this car, it's the MAF sensor, I think, tries to pull it back some because it thinks it's overboosting.
Oh, okay.
But in reality, it's fine. It wasn't doing this problem for me when I was earlier, though. When it gets over like 12 PSI, it starts doing that.
Well, we're also at altitude here.
Yeah,
we're at about 4,000 feet, so that may be playing some games with your ECU.
Yeah, probably.
So we'll give it a pass. We'll give it a pass on that.
Like an autocross, it never does that.
I am in love with the feeling of this engine, though. I mean, the smoothness of it.
Yeah.
It's like, I think it's, oh, they're going to get mad at me for saying this, but I think it's smoother than a Bmw Inline Six.
It's probably because it's such low displacement.
Yeah, I mean, there's such little inertia to the motor with the it's 2 liters, 6.
Yeah.
What are your plans for this in the future? Do you want to kind of get it running good in its current state and then just leave it, or do you want to do something crazy with it?
Well, I'm not gonna do something like nuts with it. Like, I already have a lot of parts in my garage waiting to go into it. Like, I got an R32 turbo. I got injectors and fuel pump to do all that. I just need to get a clutch, a new MAF that can take more air, and NIS tune or something to, make sure that it doesn't, I probably need a NIS tune now because of what it's doing with this fuel thing. But, or not the breaking up like that. But yeah, that's basically all my plans for it, and we'll see from there, basically.
Do you wish you had a 6th gear?
Yes, because when I drive to work, it's a straight line highway drive, and the speed limit's 75, and if I usually go like 80, 85 on it, and it's like around 4,000 RPM.
Oh, that's winding up, isn't it?
Yeah.
So would you say that because of that, this might not be a great road trip car? I mean, you just did a little road trip.
Yeah, I did. It's not bad if you're like, depends on like what kind of state you're driving in. Because when I last lived in Illinois, the speed limits were like 55 there, and on there it would be fine. Yeah. But on like 80, like they have in Texas.
Yeah. So in Texas you want a 6th gear.
Yeah.
Damn, now it's all in my head, man. Now I'm going, dude, I don't need an R34 GTR. Like, the impression of an R34 GTR is enough for a while. Yeah. Is there anything else that's like weird about it because it came from Japan that, aside from the obvious of driving on the right, is there anything else about it that doesn't make it work in America?
Not really. Like, I haven't had any problems. Like, parts have been easy to come by. Shipping on parts from like Japan and the UK and Australia is not that bad.
Really? Because the argument that a lot of people make, and I can't verify it because I've never tried, is that parts for these can be hard to come by. Is that not the case at all?
For like trim pieces, yes.
Okay.
But
stuff you don't think of.
Yeah,
like engine stuff is okay, but if you need a new window seal, you're screwed.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Actually, I had a issue where the window. God, I can't get what it's called right now.
Yeah.
The basically there's like this cable that draws the window up and down, and it snapped. And so I had to get a whole new like motor for the window or whatever.
Yeah.
And that I got from Canada. It only took me 5 minutes to find one on eBay, and it popped right in and worked. So because like these cars have been in Canada for quite a while, you can get a lot of parts from there. And the engine on this car, a lot of people like to swap them into like 240SXs and stuff. So a lot of places, I mean, you won't go to AutoZone and find something, but like tuner shops and internet, so like you could find anything for that. The only thing that's kind of hard.
If you know one guy who knows where to get parts, you're okay.
Yeah, just like spend some time on Google, basically.
Yeah.
The only thing that was hard for this car is if you don't want coilovers, you're kind of screwed on suspension. If you just want like Coney yellows and springs, like a lot of people like to do in some cars, you're not going to be able to find that for this.
So if you want suspension, your path of least resistance is just coilovers.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. And GTR stuff will not fit on this.
Oh, it doesn't because it's narrower.
Well, not that. It's like the rear end can fit, but the front end's completely different.
Okay.
Same kind of like double wishbone suspension, but I don't know the details, but supposedly they don't fit.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, this was great.
Yeah, thanks.
I really, really enjoyed it. I assume that you came here wanting me to enjoy it, and
I
have. Thank you so much. Check out Mike's car on Wheelwell, and you know, if you never thought about a GTS-T because it wasn't a GTR, you know, maybe change your mind a little bit. Maybe give it some thought, because these they're still, you know, they're more than he paid, but they're still a lot cheaper than GTRs.
Yeah, I've seen them for like $6,000 in Japan.
Yeah, there's a lot of them around.
Yeah.
In various states of modification, and there's a lot of people now in the U.S. There's at least 7 or 8 different companies in the U.S. that will get you the one that you want.
Yeah.
How long did it take?
To find this, and
between going, I'm gonna get this one, and having it show up at your house.
Like I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. It wasn't long at all.
That's not long at all.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
great.
fast.
Yeah, that's great. This was awesome. I really appreciate it, and these cars are a lot of fun, even if you don't buy the top dog GTR. It's just it's a cool thing. It's great. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you all. See you next time.